What's up guys, Dennis here. Hope you are doing good. Want to do a review video of the Pirelli Cinturato P7s all-season non-run flat tires. Now I currently have these on the vehicle I'm driving now. This is a 328i BMW. And if you didn't know, most if not all BMWs come with run flats. So a little backstory. Obviously the car came with run flats. I've had the car for about 2.5 years now. When I first bought the car, the two back tires were completely worn out. I had bought some used tires. I didn't want to spend $500 at the time after just buying the car. And I don't know, my experience with those run flats, the exact same as the tires, but they were run flats. They were super stiff. I don't know if many other people feel that way about their BMWs and their ride quality, but they're super stiff. Any little crack or pothole or bump or anything, you feel it throughout the entire car. And then I guess I never really thought about it for I don't know, probably like a year and a half that I was driving the car. And then I realized, man, like this was probably really messing up my ride quality. And the car wasn't as smooth and as quiet as I wanted it to be, so it's less enjoyable, right? Started watching some videos not too long ago from BMW owners, and they were like, hey, you know, I swapped out the run flats to non-run flats and I can never go back. And I'm like, man, that started getting me thinking, like, you know, I'm all about ride quality, less noise, that kind of thing, right? And so I started looking up tires. I was originally going to get other tires from a different brand. And then I'm like, you know, what if I just get the same ones, right? And then just make them non-run flats. Which I did, and that's why I'm doing the review video. So now I have my own personal experience of, you know, how it is to have these exact tires, run flats and non-run flats. I can tell you the difference is very noticeable from run flats to non-run flats. Definitely smoother, and like the tires absorb a little bit more impact and shock as I would have imagined they would have. And I drive a lot to and from work, and so I have a chance to drive over very crappy roads and very smooth roads every day and have a good idea of the difference between the two tire sets. Now these are the all-season tires. I don't know if the other ones were, but I know these are the all-season tires. And I live in Florida, so that's perfectly fine. I'm not dealing with snow or any of that stuff, so that works for me. But I definitely, what I can tell you as far as like wear and how long they last, the run flats that I had, they lasted a very long time. In fact, I bought the car with about 41,000 miles. That's how I bought it. And the front tires were fine. They had about 80% of their life left, and the back tires needed to go. Like, they needed to go. So obviously, with it being a rear drive car, the back tires are going to get worn out substantially quicker than the front ones, and that was definitely the case. However, the front ones I had on there for more than 50,000 miles, and I think they're rated to last 45,000 miles, I think is the number. But they definitely last a long time, and you'll probably pay a little bit more for Pirelli's just because the brand name and supposed quality and that sort of thing. But tires is not an area where you really want to skim. So my way of saving money while also getting the quality that I wanted, the ride quality and the smoothness and like a less harsh ride, was to get the non-run flats. I can tell you they're definitely better than the run flats for sure. They absorb more shock. And I intentionally, when I was driving the day before I swapped out the tires, I was driving over the same areas that I typically do, that typically make noise if it's a pothole or a crack in the road or something. And just so that I could get the idea, okay, this is how this feels, and I kind of remember it, and then the next day I swapped out the tires and did it again, just so I have a better idea of the difference. But there's definitely a difference. I like the tires, to be honest. They last a long time. I've never had an issue with them. So it's something that's going to last you a long time if you decide to purchase the Pirellis. Now you may not purchase exact ones that I have, obviously. Now these are 225 45 18s, right? So they're 18-inch tires for an 18-inch rim, and that's what came with the car. So I never changed the rims, or I have stock rims and everything. So it's as fundamental as you're gonna get, and I recommend them. I definitely wouldn't have purchased them a second time if I didn't like them. I knew they lasted a long time, and the ride quality is definitely better for sure. It's softer, and in some areas it's almost more noticeable than others. Yesterday I was driving, and I was like, man, it feels like, the way that I can describe it is like if you've been wearing sandals and walking for a couple of hours, your feet are gonna kill you. And the difference is kind of like putting on socks and really comfortable shoes, and you know there's a difference, for sure. So I have no problem with them. I recommend them. Now again, like I mentioned before, I live in Florida, so I'm not doing a review based off of their ability to perform in snow and that sort of thing. I've watched other videos that said they do very well in snow, but I can't speak on that, so I won't. So the only thing I can talk about is how long they last and ride quality. What I ended up doing, and I think what everyone should do, since I was moving from run flats to non-run flats, and I don't have a spare because BMWs don't come with spare tires, I just bought a tire patch kit and just keep it in the back just in case, right? Those are things that you want to have, plus many other things in your trunk, right? Just in case you ever get stuck on the side of the road, you don't have to rely on anybody. But yeah, I recommend them. They're super smooth. They last a long time, and I wore them the heck down. I got the miles out of them for sure. And so I recommend them. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the description to the ones that I purchased on Amazon. I looked on eBay as well before I purchased them. Now the run flats are typically $250 for this size tire each, and they were $147 each non-run flat, which I think is not bad at all. Maybe a little bit more money than the average tire, but again, it's not gonna last as long, so it's all relative, right? And then you also have to look into the performance on different environments that you're going to be using it on. So one thing I will also mention, though, even though my previous tires were worn out, when it rained, I never got like this, like, I mean, I didn't drive fast in the rain, but there were times where the tires could have skidded or hydroplaned or whatnot, and I had no issues with that, even though my tires are very worn and I had very old brake pads. So I actually changed out the rotors and the brake pads like 3 months ago, and now I have new tires. But with that being said, with worn out tires and brake pads and old rotors and stuff, I never had an issue with like water. Like that was never like a thing for me, and I had it in the back of my mind because I knew that they were worn out tires and the treading wasn't as good, but I always had good traction. So I imagine now with brand new pair of tires or set of tires, the traction is going to be way better. So yeah, I recommend them. I have no issues with them. They last a long time. I've never used them on snow, like I said, so if that's something that you're looking into, then consider that and maybe look into it a little bit more in case that the all seasons are not going to be for you, even though there are a couple videos out there that show the performance on snow. So yeah, I mean, I recommend them. I'll put the link in the description to them. When I looked on eBay, they were more expensive than Amazon, and I looked very hard. Maybe at the time that you see this video, it might be worth looking at eBay, but I'll put the link to the description on Amazon below, so you can see the ones that I got, and I would recommend looking them up on Amazon, as they're probably going to be a little cheaper than than eBay. But all in all, I recommend them. Have no issues with them. If you happen to have a BMW, just make sure you have a tire patch kit if you get the non-run flat versions, which I definitely recommend. And yeah, I mean, for you guys that are BMW owners also, just to throw that in there, going from run flats to non-run flats is the way to go. It's cheaper, way better ride quality, and there really isn't much of a con to doing it. Yeah, with run flats, if you get a tire, that gets a nail in it, you might have a little bit more peace of mind. But you're gonna suffer in ride quality, and you have to pay a lot more for a more harsh ride, which I'm not particularly into. So, yeah. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Chat me below in the comment section, and I'll do my best to reply to you as soon as possible. And with that being said, I hope you guys got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.